This week's Sedra is Sedra Tzav. Sometimes more is less. This couldn't be more true than when it comes to our observance of Torah and mitzvos. The religious mind pushes us and says the more mitzvos one does, the more prayers they recite, the more a person gives, the better they're doing. Yet this simply isn't true. There are times where more mitzvos you do, the worse off you become. A person is driven to more by their emotional fervor, but they must be guided by the wisdom of the Torah. This week's Torah portion ends with a familiar verse, one repeated often in the Torah. It says as follows: everything done today Hashem has commanded to be done for 7 days, to atone for you. You shall remain at the entrance of the Mishkan, the tent of meeting, day and night for 7 days, keeping Hashem's charge that you may not die, for so have I have been commanded. Aaron and his sons did all the things that Hashem had commanded through Moshe. In his commentary on this last verse, Rashi wrote, the last verse stating that Aaron and his sons did all that Hashem commanded was listed to tell Aaron's praise, that they did not turn to the right nor the left. Rashi understood this verse as a praise of Aaron and his sons for following the Torah. In Ramban's commentary on this verse, Ramban noticed something different about this pasuk. He wrote as follows. He wrote everywhere in this section it says, as Hashem commanded Moshe. Right? That's what it says throughout the Torah. But here, since Aaron's sons added to the command by bringing an offering which Hashem had not commanded them, which they died for, Hashem does not say it in this way, since they did not do as Hashem commanded Moshe. Rather, the pasuk states that they did all the things which, not as, Hashem commanded Moshe. And they further added to them the offering which Hashem said that he had not commanded them. Rashi and Ramban disagreed about whether the last pasuk in our Torah portion that states Aaron and his sons did all Hashem asked was a praise or a criticism of Aaron and his sons. Rashi understood the verse to praise them for doing what Hashem asked. Ramban understood it as a criticism because 2 of Aaron's sons did more than what was asked, and the additional offerings that they gave were extraneous and sinful. Their disagreement, Rashi and the Ramban, stems from 2 different understandings of mitzvah observance. Rashi understood that as long as the commands were followed, you had done what was asked and were praised, notwithstanding the extra and sinful additional offerings. Ramban saw the additions as having retroactively ruined the mitzvos already performed. According to Ramban, additional service might not only be sinful, but might ruin the good already done. The Torah is a book of wisdom. It is a logical set of rules that doesn't lend itself to emotional fervor. The emotionally driven religious adherent of Torah is mistakenly led by his emotions to take on mitzvos when they're not only not called for, but inappropriate because their performance doesn't fit with the Torah's wise and logical structure. Torah-led Jews are naturally driven to do more mitzvos, learn more Torah, and be better today than we were yesterday. These are healthy goals, and a person should be encouraged to achieve each one of them. The goals should be driven, though, by the knowledge of the uniqueness of the Torah and emotional fervor to achieve. It is important to keep in mind that a person can't allow themselves to get carried away by the emotional fervor, and always ensure their mitzvah performance is guided by wisdom more than emotion. Shabbat Shalom.